Get set, ready, go. Now, right, right, right. Let's go. 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 Do it, babe. Do it, babe. Do it, babe. Get set, ready, go. Now, right, right, right. Let's go. Right, right, right. Let's go. Right, right, right. Let's go. Right, right, right. Let's go.
What's up, my gang? It's your girl Jorryn, back at it again with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be recapping day 3 of my in-car driving lessons. And I'm going to be telling y'all how I went on my own to practice and better perfect my driving skills between Saturday's class and the class that I have for today. So before we even get started, I know I have my little coaching guide that he fills out every day for every class. And we didn't get to hit everything on here, and I'm so salty about it because your girl was ready for the highway. It said highway on here, and I was excited. I was ready. And we didn't get to do it. We didn't get to do it. But it's because he wanted to practice maneuverability, which I completely understand because I got to pass maneuverability to get my driver's license. And that's what I needed to work on. And so when he told me that we was doing maneuverability, y'all, I'm like, okay, I got this. He was like, well, maneuverability is hard. It's very difficult for everybody. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm not everybody. I'm going to get it after a couple tries. Like, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to learn it. Y'all, after doing maneuverability for 2 hours, was still struggling. I was still struggling. But let's go ahead and get to what we did and how I did. Concentration on driving tasks, I got a +2. Scan, communicate, and cushion of safety, I got a +2. Proper lane use, I got a +2. And proper right of ways, I got a 2. Don't try to ask me what's the difference between a +2 and a 2. It's just, they mean the same thing. I just did extra good on the +2 ones, okay? Don't come for me. I'm doing good. And then what else? I say safe and proper lane changes, and then the state maneuverability. I got a 2. And in the notes, y'all, he put that we practiced the 4-step maneuver technique on the right side, but he said it was taking me some time to get comfortable with the technique. Like my hand positioning was like all over the place. It was all over the place. I didn't know what to do with my hands. So like he put on here basically turning back to 12 o'clock. So trying to center the car I was driving. I was trying to center it and struggling. So y'all, let's just get into it. When he told me like how to do it, like we were sitting in the parking lot and he was like, I want you to do this and this, then this and this and this. I'm like, okay, cool, I got it. Because it's the 4-step process. You got to have your stuff lined up to the cones. You go, once you get like 3 or 4 inches past the first cone in the side view mirror, you do a half right. And then once the top cone hits like your window shield frame, you do a half left. I was doing so good with that part. It was just the coming back I was struggling with. So I was doing that, and then he's like, cut it. So I was cutting the wheel. And to go back, you have to go from 6 o'clock, or that half turn, to 12, then to 3, then to 9. And y'all, when I was doing it, my hands just kept going like this, and I was struggling. He's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And so I tried to do it, with the one hand, and you can't do that because you're going to break your wrist. I was like, oh. So, he was to get on me about my hand positioning. I'm just like, dude, I'm trying. Give me that. I'm trying. So we literally took 2 hours to do right side. But I can say that we did about 6 or 7 times in them 2 hours. And I got 3. I got 3 of them on my own. within them 2 hours. That's a pretty big thing for somebody who's never done it before. He was like, everything's gonna come with, you know, more practice. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, I'm a practice between, you know, the next day, this little in-between day that I'm off, don't got a class. I'm a practice. So we driving. Oh, and mind y'all, I kind of like tapped the cones a little bit. Like, I didn't knock them off the platform or like their little spot, but I was hitting them. And y'all, if y'all didn't know, they take points off. Like, he told me everything they take points off for. He said they take 2 points off if you stop to check your progress. And then if you hit the cone, they take 10. But you don't fail. You only fail if you knock the cone over. So as long as, you know, your girl don't knock the cone over or hit the cone. Because I don't want to hit the cone anyways. But as long as I don't do that, I'm good. Because you start out with 100 points. And you need 75 points to pass. So we doing that. I'm on my way driving, you know, back to the house. And he's like, you know, what are your plans for the day, like the weekend? And I'm like, oh, you know, not that much. I said, I'm gonna, you know, see if my Mama T, if she can go practice with me maneuver, but I'm really going to try to convince her, right? Mind you, Mama T was not going, but I'm like, I'm going to try to convince her to go. First thing he says, John, no, you shouldn't do that. I was like, why not? He's like, because you don't have cones. I said, yes, I do. I have cones. He's like, well, I wouldn't advise it. I was like, this man is trying to keep me from being great. This man don't want me to get my license on Tuesday. But, you know, I'm just like, okay. So, I'm like, I'm not about to just sit and waste a day and not practice my maneuverability. Like, if I wanted to get my license on Tuesday, I needed to practice and get better at it. So that's what I did. And shout out to our friend, Mr. Ron. He took me to practice my maneuverability because Mama T was not going. Y'all, I really tried. Me and Gigi, y'all remember Gigi from our summer vacation. We went to summer vacation with her. Me and her was, you know, coming up with a plan to, you know, try to butter her up and get her to come in the car with me. Like, my DJ even pushed. She was like, you know, you a real strong black woman. My mom was like, I don't want no parts. I don't want parts. So I'm like, you know, I got a proposal. She's like, I don't want to hear it. So of course I didn't know what that meant. Like, she was not going to call me. Yeah. So I called our friend Mr. Ron. He took me on Saturday. And y'all, there was so much improvement going and practicing. Like, I got my right side down really good. And I even tried the left side. I tried the left side actually yesterday. But Saturday, I literally, and y'all, it was, hold up. I gotta talk about the whole experience. But, yeah, I got my right side together. And it's really good, like, going, turning, all that's great, okay? But we low-key got the measurements wrong the first time. So, we out there setting up the cones and stuff. And I'm about to, you know, go through and do the little test run, make sure, you know, it's going right. And I'm starting to turn my wheel, and I'm like, this turn is too tight. Like, the turn wasn't this tight just like, you know, 3, 4, 5 hours ago. It was not this tight. So, we had the measurements wrong. So, we had to fix the measurements. Once we got it, though, we was, like, in there. I was getting them really good. And I literally just kept going. It's like, once I got through step 1, got through step 2, I was literally back to back, like non-stop, kind of just going in, muscle memory type stuff so I can get this. And y'all, here go the fun part. So, I have never driven at night, let alone, like, for real drive, y'all, like, outside of my driving classes and stuff. Like, I've been to, like, I took to the ATM a couple times. But outside of my driving class, I ain't driven nowhere for real like that. Like I said, I've only had open road experience twice, and it was only for like a day and for like a couple hours, and it was something quick, like it was during the day. So y'all, I drove at night. Like, it was so much fun. And like, I even, I popped up on Mama T. I heard a little Mexican restaurant she be going to. I called her. She was trying to answer. And I called her again. She didn't answer. So she called back. And I'm like, you at your spot? She's like, yeah, I'm at my spot. Why? Or something. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm about to pull up on you. Man, that was the funniest stuff ever. So, we driving. We passing the house. And I was telling Miss Ron, I'm like, ooh, I'm like, Mr. Ron, it's our first time driving at night. He's like, do I need to be excited or scared? I'm like, get excited because I'm excited. And so, y'all, we driving. I just got a little nervous, though, once we was, like, out. Like, we turned off our main street from coming to the house and turned left. And it was, like, a whole bunch of traffic. I was low-key nervous just a little bit, y'all, because I'm like, all these cars, like, there was a lot. I've never driven, like, with that many cars on the road at one time. So I was like, ooh. But I held it together. But baby, we was zooming. We were zooming. I was just like, had the music playing. We was bumping over down the street. I was like, yes, this is it. This is for me. And so we driving. And I think it was like right before the light to turn to her little spot she be at. And we had a stoplight. And then all of a sudden, like, everybody's brights got, like, really bright in my glasses. And was, like, the glare was super bad. And your girl could not see. I was just like, oh. It's like, I had to literally, like, stare at the ground to follow the line to make sure I can see. Because everybody's brights were just, like, super bright up in my face. And if you wear glasses, you know you can't see. So I'm turning and I'm literally looking at the ground, but like trying to still follow the turn. And then as I'm making my left, as I'm making my right lane change, this big old white truck with these big old bright LED lights decides to come behind me. And I couldn't get over because I could not see, so I kind of slowed down so he can get around me, so that I could turn. But I'm just like, dang, them lights do not need to be that bright. They don't. They just really do not. So, y'all, I pulled up on Mama T at her spot. I was like, I'm outside. She's like, you outside? I'm like, yes, I'm outside. And so she came out, y'all. I was like, oh, who you feeling like? And she was surprised, like, I drove there. So, she looked in the passenger seat, and she looked at Mr. Brown. She was like, are you okay? He's like, yeah. She's like, do you need a drink? I was like, no, he don't. She started laughing. She was like, how you gonna answer for him? I said, because if he need a drink, it's not because of me. It's because whatever else been happening in his day. Not because of me, because baby, we was zooming, we was driving, we were doing good. We was listening to music, all that. And as we're turning or trying to come out, Mama T's in her car watching, and then Miss Ron was trying to make sure I was good on the passenger side, because there's a big old truck right there, y'all. And my job, when he was pulling in, he was like, you sure you want to do this? I'm like, we're already doing it. He's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, it was kind of a tight trying to come out, but I made sure I did it like really, 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 really slow. So I'm like, it be just my luck that I, don't go slow enough and hit somebody's car. Mind y'all, that's gonna be bad on both parts, because you're gonna even have a license. I can't be hitting cars and I don't have my license, okay? So don't prevent me from getting it. But Yes, y'all. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So that was Saturday. And then yesterday, we went driving again to, you know, practice the maneuverability, get it down, because like I said, I'm trying to get my license on Tuesday. Okay? So I need to get it down. So we went, and this time, instead of like doing it, so instead of doing the cones facing this way, we did it like in an actual like driving parking spot type position. So where you would actually, you know, go out and then pull in. It was really good, you know, making progress. I even tried the left side for the first time. Trying to figure that out was a little hard. I was like turning my wheel the opposite way instead of the way it was supposed to go. It was easy after a while. Like when I tell y'all we did that like back to back, at least like 5-6 times on the left side just to make sure I had it. For real, it was probably more than that. But after I got it on the left side, like I was getting the technique, I was getting my hands together, I was turning the right way. We started alternating, so he's going left, right, you know, left, right, left, right, left, right. To make sure I didn't lose what I learned on the right side because I switched it to the left side, which is your opposite. And so I'm really hoping, I mean, I'm really good on the right side, but I'm really hoping that they just choose the right side when come test day. They just choose the right side and not make me do the left. Because the left ain't bad. It definitely needed some work, and I gave it that work that it needed. But yeah, so I actually got a clip I'm going to go ahead and insert, because not only did we do it with the cones, but I did it without the cones. Like, I actually parked in a parking spot. And that was interesting. That was fun. I've never like done it on my own, trying to park in a parking spot. Now mind y'all, there was no cars, but still, like, just being able to know how to do it effectively was important. So that was me practicing my maneuverability with and without cones. And the video did get cut short, but we didn't realize that it got cut short until after, you know, I got home and stuff and looked at it. But your girl did make it back into the parking space in the first one. I literally went all the way straight back and then stopped. And then the same for when I did the cones. I was up and back, no problem. But yes, y'all, like today's class is my last class. This is it. This last class is gonna make or break if you go get her license tomorrow. So I'm not gonna say wish me luck, because you know I don't do the whole wish me luck, because I got faith and I know that I'm going to get it just fine and be great, and I'm gonna get my license no problem, because I have been manifesting that since September. Since I paid for the classes, I've been manifesting that. Gotta speak things that are not as if they are. So that's what I have been doing. So I know that I'm going to do great and get my license. So I don't know for sure if I'm going to do a lap. So I don't know for sure if I'm going to do a last in-car driving lesson recap. But now that I think about it, I might just do that, and then, you know, when I go to get my license, I'll record that and make that a whole separate video. And then, you know, we can get to the car tours and the drive with me's and all that fun stuff I know y'all have been waiting for, and the stuff that I have been waiting for forever. So I'm really hoping that everything that I've been doing for the past 2 days, you know, on my own practice and stuff, really pays off, and I can do the maneuverability like one time on each side today during this class, and I can be like ready to do highways, or even better, go tomorrow and get my license. That's really about it for this video. I really hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope you took some information from it. You know, if you're about to start in cars, if you haven't, but you know you need it, or you just need, you know, driving advice, these are the videos for you. But if you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Comment down below what more videos you want to see me do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the Amaja gang, because we're lit over here. And go ahead and hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every single time your girl posts a video. And like always, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.